Good evening. I would like to speak a little bit about Hanukkah, even though Hanukkah is a holiday that Noahites do not observe because it's specifically in Judaism, there's rabbinic holidays and there's biblical holidays, and Hanukkah is a strictly rabbinic holiday, so it's really mostly for the Jews. But an interesting point about it, as we all know, the holidays, there's two miracles that happened on Hanukkah. One was the miracle of the oil, that the oil lasted instead of, they found enough oil when they were fighting the Greeks. They found enough oil that should only last for one day, and a miracle happened and it lasted for 8 days. At the same time, another great miracle that happened was the war. Is that the Jewish people beat the Greeks? It's like the small nation, the tiny nation, the few. They beat the great mighty warriors of the Greeks. So it's just interesting to note. And the other interesting that's one aspect of Hanukkah. And also in Judaism, there are 12, there's 12 Shvatim, and there's also 12 months. We're going to find out there's specific numbers, specific things. There's 12 Shevets, or 12 tribes that are the sons of Jacob and his grandchildren. Sometimes are counted, and then there's also 12 months of the year, and there's also sometimes leap years. So sometimes since they're on a lunar calendar, which is 354 days, we're on a solar calendar, 365 days. They have a leap month about 7 times every 19 years to make up for to make sure that the calendar is always proper, because the holiday of Passover always needs to take place in the springtime. So it happens to be that if you start counting up the months of Kislev, the Jewish months start at Nisan is the first month, so it goes Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, Av, Elul, Tishrei, Cheshvan, Kislev, Teves. So Kislev is the ninth month, and Teves is the 10th month. And then if you start counting the tribes go in order: Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zvulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Gad and Asher are tribes number 9 and 10. And then what is God, the tribe of God, Gad, known for? When you see the prayers that Moshe Rabbeinu gives them at the end of the Bible, at the end of the Torah, he gives them that they're the warriors, they're the fighters, that when somebody was killed in war by the God, they even said that they chopped off the head and the arm all in one swipe. So that when a person saw a body lying, that was from the tribe of God, those were the warriors. And then who is Asher? Asher was the tribe where oil was. There's different stories throughout the Talmud, throughout the Bible, as far as in the area in the land of Israel, the tribe of Asher, that's where the oil was. And so now, if we think back to the Hanukkah story, that happens in the 9th and the 10th month, which is the only holiday that happens over 2 months. And then you see that the two Shvatim that are the 9th and the 10th, the Gad and the Asher, they're the ones that are the warriors and the oil, and that also is the same as far as for the Hanukkah miracles, that you see that it was the army and it was the army and it was the oil as well. So you see the different intricacies, how everything is different, related, and has layered and layered and layered. And I hope as we go through and I post these things, you appreciate all these different layers and different levels, and then you come to appreciate them, and you realize that things are not always as they seem, that there's many layers, and just like in people's lives, that you might see one thing and there's different layers. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye bye.